desperate straits based on what Rodriguez and Brady Hoke had done here, and he was available. And so they didn't have a choice. They couldn't let Harbaugh go somewhere else. So they would have preferred not to give him that much money, as they indicated when they hired Brady Hoke, but they didn't have a choice at that point in time. They can go find a very good coach here. Billy Donovan is a good name, and he's got 2 national championships. So, of course, he'd be a good hire. But who's to say that there's not a guy coaching at Lehigh right now, or at, or a MAC school, or an East Coast school?
Well, you mentioned the Val
Jordan. Very successful. Val Jordan, he hasn't had great success at Butler.
No.
When you look at the guys who were there before him and what they were able to do.
Well, to me, I agree with you that there's other guys out there that can keep the program going and maybe even have more success.
Right.
But Michigan, I just think they're gonna show their hand here a little bit, unless they get lucky and hire somebody. I think most times, when you're in this situation and you lose a legendary coach, that it usually kind of falls apart automatically. Well, Michigan has somewhat kind of lucked into this. Nobody thought this would ever happen with Beilein. Nobody. I mean, there were people that didn't want him being the coach a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Gene Stoney even were a hot seating him a little bit. Not necessarily call for a firing, but something's got to flip here a little bit. More is expected.
I was the voice of reason. I said, listen, I think this guy's going to go back to the national championship game very soon.
I think you've got to dance with Billy Donovan here. To me, he's the lockstep, can't miss, home run hire. Nobody equates to it that's realistic. That's realistic. You make the phone call. Are you tired of the NBA and the nonsense? And then the three-point offense and the press style that he runs to bring it back to college and come to a place like this that's already somewhat built.
Right.
You wouldn't have to do a full rebuild. To me, you've got to make that play. Then you tell me as a fan
turn
that you're
left onto Middle Belt Road.
But again, you got to decide, are you trying to win the press conference? Are you trying to stop the bleeding? Is this a suture or is this a long-term?
Go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say Billy Donovan would be, I'm trying to think of another name of a realistic coaching candidate who would make the Michigan fan base. Right now, the Michigan fan base feels like they just got kicked right in the balls. And it's going to be a long time. I mean, their dream girl just dumped out of nowhere.
I would argue
like Michigan had bought the ring, and they were about to go down one knee, and instead of saying yes, the girl just walked away from it. Billy Donovan would make them feel better, more than I think maybe any other feasible name out there right now. But is he a long-term success?
I think Donovan would actually make Michigan win today. I do. I think he actually would be an upgrade.
Oh, I disagree with that. I don't think you're going to.
This is a guy. I'm saying we are a Michigan fan. Losing a guy, he didn't win a national title. Billy Donovan has 2.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
His style.
Billy Donovan also choked out a lot in Elite Eight. Michigan blew them out. Michigan State blew them out.
I know.
Billy Donovan has teams that turtle quite a bit as well.
I just think, to me, he's the unicorn here, and there's everybody else, and I'm open to everybody else. I'm not saying, I've always thought Michigan, we've all said it, they don't really value their basketball.
Turn left onto
And it
Middle
was
Belt
a cute,
Road.
Well,
nice
as much
thing
as
to have.
their football program.
But they have put a lot. I mean, Chrysler Arena now is a second to none facility with their workout facility and everything else. It's amazing what they have done. You look at what Chrysler used to be. So they've showed dedication to the athletic, to the program, and I think a lot of that's thanks to Beilein.
It'll never be football, but that's okay.
Let's go to Bill in Canton on 97.1 The Ticket. Hello, Bill.
Hey guys, how you doing? This news is really got me down because I'm a huge Michigan fan, especially I follow the basketball program, and I think it's going to take them a step backwards if you're saying if they don't get a Donovan or somebody really good. If they hire assistant coach or somebody secondary, I think the program's going to take a step backwards. That's what I'm afraid of.
I think it's a very logical assumption to make. I mean, you don't lose. It's funny because I was thinking about the great coaches in college basketball. And if Duke, if Coach K retires or Calipari left Kentucky,
turn
I
right
feel like
onto
those
Walnut
programs
Road.
are strong enough that they'd be okay. They'd find good successors, whatever. Michigan basketball is so much invested in this one guy that it's almost like he's more important to his program than a lot of other coaches out there, right? I mean,
I agree with that.
Tony Bennett has made Virginia back into a power, so I got to give him credit for that. And Izzo's very powerful at Michigan State. So there's other guys out there, but boy, it's hard to envision the road forward.
I think there's a lot of people out there who keep the program decent, and I think like somebody that's Nate Oates, the Buffalo coach.
He's in Alabama. He just
I went to Alabama. That would be intriguing because of the ties back here with Romulus. I mean, that's something. I mean, I could see a way where he could recruit Detroit, for example.
Sully just had a really good tweet, Mike Sullivan of the afternoon show. What Beeline did with Michigan's basketball program was nothing short of excellent. Very tough loss. Can't help but wonder if the university did absolutely everything it could to keep him. I sure hope so. That's actually a great question. I didn't even think about that. Like, did Beeline come to Ward Manuel and say, listen, I'm thinking of doing this? Because if you're Ward Manuel, you say, whoa,
What's the cost?
well, yeah, tell us we'll write the check. You would hope, you would think. I mean,
Do you think any less of Beeline for doing this?
I don't think less of them, because again, who's to say, what challenges do you want in your life? What do you seek out? I mean, some people say they want to do this for 10 years and they want to go open up a restaurant, whatever. I just think he's making a mistake.
I think he's making a mistake coaching wise, but maybe he just sees the landscape. The one and done's going to be done soon, so you're going to have guys going, not even going to college, they're going to go to the NBA. Maybe he sees the way the game is played in the NBA, and maybe he sees he's losing guys, and maybe he's just sick of the whole recruiting stuff. That's possible.
He's been doing it his whole
I know,
life.
but you want to do sometimes you want to do something else.
All right, we'll take more of your phone calls, more of your texts coming up. The final clue for Random Tiger. That's right, Random Tiger. We gave you 3 clues over the last, hour and a half, Greg, something like that. The 4th clue, his real first name was Leon. His real first name was Leon. Random Tiger, 248-539-9797.
You could win the ticket signing bonus right now. This hour's keyword for a chance to win $1,000 is RAIN. Text RAIN to 72881. Don't text and drive. Message and data rates apply. One randomly selected nationwide item will win $1,000 from Intercom. It's Motown Harley's pre-owned red tag sale this week. Hundreds of Harleys tagged with liquidation pricing. Good credit, bad credit, no credit. 100% of applications accepted. Save thousands this week. Only at Motown Harley's pre-owned red tag sale. Ends this Sunday.
Ace's place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Buying a new grill from a big warehouse is like trying to start your old grill. You can end up standing around by yourself and nothing happens. Not at Ace. We've got an exclusive lineup of premium brands, plus premium service to make sure you get the right grill. That's why grilling starts at Ace.
Get free fuel until May 27th when you buy a new Weber tray.
What's that? I was heading down to... I'm on Middle Belt right now, heading down south. You need anything, or? Yeah, we were switching trucks out. And she called. I went over there, but I couldn't find a funnel, so I ran up to Lowe's to get a funnel. Then she called me as I was walking out, saying that she had a funnel. She was going to take care of it. Yeah, I did. Yeah. No, I will return it. I haven't yet. Okay. Alrighty. I could have. I bought the funnel. You have to have a funnel because those things, the newer vehicles, they have 2 doors on them. One at the top, and then there's another one down inside. The gas can won't open both of them, so your gas just spills everywhere if you try to put it in there. Yeah, I'm not heading towards. I think I'm heading to Detroit. Okay. Okay. See ya.
World Series championships, had 7 home runs in 32 career World Series games, and his real first name was Leon Goose Gosselin. There you go. There you go, Tiger fans. So Sean in East Point got it. He won a pair of tickets to the Tigers take on the Oakland A's this Saturday, May 18th, courtesy of Chevrolet, the official sponsor of the Detroit Tigers.
Jamie, Brendan Quinn, who covers college basketball locally for The Athletic, actually is their golf writer now. He's actually on his way to Bethpage Black. He tweeted out the questions about Michigan's next coach. First things first.
In 3 miles, turn left onto Drake Road.
Stevens and Jay Wright. Make them say no. Then the conversation moves to the list in Warren Manuel's pocket. Who's on that? Don't forget.
Hey, right. There is it.
Call. The only I think I'm under the impression the only job he can do is six.
Right. Yeah, man.
Kenny Calipari, I think Wright is a candidate. Donovan would be a candidate. That's the scare with that.
Right.
I think Donovan would be a candidate at Kentucky. If, let's say Donovan came to Michigan, the Calipari left Kentucky, the Donovan jumped into Kentucky.
Some ticket text 97136. Coming from a Spartan fan, it's sad to see Coach Beeline go. I'm stunned at this entire situation, but if Michigan was smart, they'd go after Johnny Dawkins from UCF. Why not? Thoughts? Kyle from Southgate. Yeah, but he coached at Stanford. Didn't he also coach at LSU? I know he coached at Stanford. He's been around a bit. He hasn't had great success. I mean, he's had a nice run. They should have beat Duke this year in the NCAA tournament. But I don't think he's an obvious choice. Doesn't his son coach? Wasn't he with him on the Michigan bench? Patrick Beeline. I think he made it a grad. Was he a grad assistant 1 year? But he just got the head coaching job at Niagara. And he hired, I saw over the week, he hired Greg Paulus as one of his assistant coaches.
Right.
The kid from Duke. Is this Beeline giving one last dig at Izzo? Izzo's always been the one rumored to go to the NBA. Beeline beats him to it.
No, they get along fine. I don't think they're going to take a big there at all.
Izzo could have gone multiple times to the NBA. He chose not to. And he did say, to his credit, after the last dalliance with Cleveland, which was, 5-6 years ago, or longer than that, I guess it was right after LeBron left, he said, I'm done. This is it. I'm staying at Michigan State. And I don't believe we've heard Izzo's name attached to any NBA job since then, have we?
No.
This is terrible news for Michigan fans. Congrats to Coach Beeline. The short list of replacements, we should consider Jay Wright from Villanova, Billy Donovan, Greg Marshall from Wichita State, and Leonard Hamilton from Florida State. That's from Will and Harrison Township. Well, we already mentioned all those names except for Leonard Hamilton. Leonard Hamilton, if not older than Beeline, is as old as Beeline.
Yeah.
He's been around a long time, and he's had good success. But I think this is more of a younger man.
Let me give you a name. Now, he's always been rumored to be the successor of Coach K. This is Wolojo. He's at Marquette. Done pretty damn well at Marquette.
He's
A
done
disappointing
okay.
finish. He hasn't.
What's he really done?
No, he hasn't gone that far in the tournament, but his record is good. He's 97 and 69.
I mean, if they were to hire him, it's a solid hire.
Right.
I would definitely give him a chance and be up for it.
Right. I'm just, look, we're just looking at people who might be available.
The Donovan it's very similar to Harbaugh in terms of coming back to college and getting kind of into a right fit.
I'm not thrilled with the thought of Wojo, and I'm not making a joke here. Wojo, I mean, I don't know. I still have to see the big Duke coaching success.
Kind of like the Belichick.
In a way, yeah. I mean, it's the most successful ones by Mike Gray at Notre Dame, and he's a pretty good coach. I think he left because of the constant turnover at Michigan. He even stated after last season he was prepared for a lot of underclassmen leaving during the 2013 run, but he didn't expect to have to rebuild the program 2 times. This year, with the stars leaving, is a 3rd time. Yeah, I would think that when Michigan got knocked out by Texas Tech, look, he knows a lot more than we'll ever know, so maybe he had inside knowledge of this, but I assumed everybody was coming back except for Matthews. I just thought for sure Bryce Vegas would pull up. Maybe it's him. We'll see what they do.
To me, of all Project Wrestling, I think he was going to build everything around him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, what am I to do? Every year I got to go pluck somebody on foreign soil.
Yeah. I went to Michigan State, but I grew up in Ann Arbor. Went to basketball games growing up. Always loved seeing Beeline do his thing. I'm shocked and frankly sad. Ann Arbor won't be the same without him. I just pooped my pants, guys. Thank you for Bad News Monday. I have tears of disgust rolling down my face. I don't know that it's necessarily to be disgusted, but I do think Beeline created an image which it was very easy to buy into. And that was that he was all about Michigan. He was all in for Michigan.
Grove Drive.
Yeah.
Then turn left onto
Chase
North Creek
in
Court.
Ann Arbor. You are on 97.1 the ticket. What's up, Chase?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good.
So my question was, I know, we're all talking about bigger names and stuff, but what about, I think it's Bakari Alexander, the assistant?
No!
Turn left onto North Creek Court. Then the destination is on your right.
It was a UD, they got rid of him because of what happened. He was, abusive to players. No.
I did not know that.
Okay.
I don't know that he was physically abusive to players.
The destination
He
is
might
on your
have,
right.
grabbed his crotch at a certain-
6091
Hey, guys,
North
what about
Creek
that
Court.